The newly minted 2024 National Press Secretary, Karoline Leavitt. First of all, Karoline, congratulations to you on assuming your new position, and thank you for being with us. In 2016, Karoline, Donald Trump won a larger share of undeclared voters in the primary than any other candidate, and there are more undeclared voters in the state of New Hampshire than even Republicans or Democrats. Now he seems to be criticizing the process up there in New Hampshire, suggesting that Democrats or liberals could hijack the primary. Why is he criticizing a process that he has benefited from?
Well, first of all, in 2016, New Hampshire was the first state in this great country to propel President Trump to his historic victory over Hillary Clinton in that race. Of course, he obviously won this primary in 2020 as well, and he will go on to win it for the third time this coming Tuesday. But President Trump is right to call out what is happening with the Nikki Haley campaign. Nikki Haley and Governor Chris Sununu, who are running around this state together, are basically encouraging Democrats who registered as undeclared voters prior to the October 6th deadline to vote in the primary on Tuesday. And that is not welcome news to the hundreds of thousands of Republicans that we expect to turn out in Tuesday's election for President Trump. Nikki Haley's campaign is funded by Democrat donors. She is appealing to Democrat voters because she is more of a liberal than she is a conservative. She is for a sales tax, a 23% national sales tax. We don't have a sales tax here in the Live Free or Die state. That is not a policy that Granite Staters support. Nikki Haley supports open borders. She supports amnesty. She is against President Trump's border wall. So these are Democrat policies that she supports. She is funded by Democrat donors, and she's encouraging Democrats to vote in our primary, and President Trump is right to call it out.
But Democrats can't vote in the primary, though. And does the campaign have proof that Governor Sununu, who's a Republican, and Nikki Haley are taking registered Democrats, telling them to register as undeclared so that they can go then and vote in the primary?
Formerly registered Democrats can in fact now vote if they changed their party affiliation prior to the October 6th deadline. And we know for a fact that nearly 5,000 of them did that. And Nikki Haley and Chris Sununu have been on the record, on television, on the campaign trail, saying that they want those formerly registered Democrats to vote in Tuesday's primary.
Well, a lot of Democrats around the country are leaving the Democratic Party for a variety of reasons that you and I think probably both know. I want to move on. Last night, South Carolina Senator and former Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott endorsed former President Trump at a rally in Concord, New Hampshire. Here's some of that. Watch.
We need a president who will close our southern border today. We need Donald Trump.
Talk to us about the significance of this, and of course, what everybody seems to be asking this morning, is he on the short list for vice president should former President Trump be the nominee?
Well, it's very exciting to welcome Senator Tim Scott to Team Trump, and he's not the only one. You've seen many endorsements over the past several weeks. Senator Mike Lee, Senator Ted Cruz. The Republican Party is unified behind Donald Trump. The only people that are not unified behind him are the two that still think they have a chance in this presidential contest when they don't. That is Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. They didn't stand a chance in Iowa. They got crushed by more than 30 points, a historic victory for the former president in those caucuses. They do not stand a chance here on Tuesday either. And if Nikki Haley really wants to play this game all the way to her home state of South Carolina, she will be signing her political death certificate there. As you saw last night, Senator Tim Scott joining the team, Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, and many other state and party officials from her home state are backing the former president. It just goes to show you that many people other than most Republicans other than Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis understand that President Trump is the presumptive nominee, and we need him again to deliver on the issues that matter to American families, securing the border, rebuilding our economy, and reinvigorating our domestic energy industry to bring down utility costs for families across this country, especially here in New Hampshire, where they have skyrocketed because of Joe Biden's energy policies.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. 2024 National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign, Karoline Leavitt. Appreciate you being here.